Hey guys, but the two of us are back with our spoiler review and
Yes.
opinion of the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. Can
Mm,
you survive Five Nights at Freddy's, October 27th? It is November 2nd or 3rd. Probably the
um,
3rd. Maybe the
basically,
4th.
technically right now it's the fourth, but it's like it's really at night. It's also early in the morning. So
I don't know what day it is anymore.
we,
It
we
does.
saw it when it was the 3rd of
Yes,
November. Um,
of 2023.
yeah.
To anyone
Yeah,
who
it was a really
cares
good
in the
movie.
future.
I guess we should like have like general synopsis of it. Now that we can actually talk about what happens in it. Um, don't you feel energized and awake to talk about a whole movie?
I'm just thinking about that absolutely terrible Avatar live action movie. I want to do it for. I want to do a video on it so
In
badly.
case you guys are not aware, if you've not watched the last video, which it should be the last video when this video comes out,
Hmm.
um, in our spoiler-free
Of
review,
course, you would have to watch the movie to even have a point to be here.
yeah,
You can
but
watch both if you watched it. Why not?
yeah, but in the spoiler-free review, we're talking about like bad movies we could
Yes,
review.
please.
Uh,
More of that, please. I will. Because reacting to like bad movies is in some ways more. Well, I wouldn't say it's more interesting, but it's different. Because if
yeah,
it's a good movie, it's like, yeah, this movie was good. All the it had all these elements done. But if it's bad, it's this movie was terrible, and here's why. You gotta like rip it
yeah,
apart. But also, like, if it kind of does, I mean, I don't know.
yeah,
Bad movies are just different, and
yeah.
we haven't done too many bad movies. Well, there's like maybe two I didn't like out of all the movie reviews we've done so far. So
Yeah, but this is not a bad movie.
no, it
Uh,
was it
we're
was
just
good.
mentioning bad movies we couldn't look at because we mentioned Slender Man, like that
Yes,
movie, and
please.
how he apparently only showed up like once or whatever.
At least that's what my friend who watched it at the time said. Also, yes, please.
Yeah,
If I can find that movie, we need to do it.
yeah.
We'll probably regret it because I hear it's flipping terrible, but it would be worth it to have it, to rip it apart.
Um,
There's plenty of bad movies we could do. Gotta be so fun.
Alright.
The animatronics were fun.
Yeah, they.
I don't know.
Man, my
I
brain's
feel
like
like those. I feel like those are a big crucial part of this movie.
my
If you
brain's
know
like
anything about them.
malfunctioning. I'm trying to like. I'm right there, like finding the words to say. Um. Oh,
Good job there, Cowboy.
uh,
Matt Pat was in the
yeah,
movie.
Map had and because
Glory expansion.
there's technically like three like there's two like cameos, but there's like three like YouTubers like involved so to speak, including like the credits. Because there's Matt Pat, there was Corey Kenshin, and then there was the first Five Nights at Freddy's song that Living Tombstone made for the credits.
Well, they
Um,
didn't make it for the credits. They made it for
or
the game. They used it for the credits.
the song that they made like
For
for the
the
first
first
game,
game, they
they
randomly,
used that for
which
the
was
credits.
weird considering not a single utter finesse song was played in the entire movie.
Yeah, like because I think they like at parts like it sounded like they used the like that main like melody that like Freddy plays like when you run out of power
They
in the
did use
first
that
game.
a lot. I think there have been finesse songs made with that melody
Yeah,
too, which
like
is kind of
in
funny.
the FNAF song like that Living Tombstone made, that's using the credits.
That one as well.
Uh, but yeah, and all the both the cameos were very fun. Um, one thing that is unfortunate is because a lot of people obviously understandably would wanted to have Markiplier in the movie, and he was supposed to be in the movie, but because he's making, if you don't know about it, the Iron Lung movie, he was making, because like it's a movie like Markiplier himself is like making, well he made it, but you know, with the creator of the original game, and he was like the recording, like sessions of that movie, like directly clashed with the recording sessions of the FNAF movie, so he couldn't do any like filming sessions or anything, any like shooting to be in the movie, but he was supposed to be in it. He just couldn't. But from what I read in like a single article, apparently what he was supposed to be is, so in the beginning of the movie, we see this random night guard that was supposed to be Markiplier, desperately trying to get out of the office, which is like boarded up, and he goes through a vent, and then he ends up in a different room. He goes out, go through some like hallways, and then gets cornered by Foxy, and then because it's in the trailers, like that like death mask with like the two spinning blades in it. He was in like that like chair, and he didn't get out in time, and so he assumedly got his face just shredded up. And that supposedly would have been Markiplier instead of the random guy. So it is what it is.
My body was there. I was pretty happy about that.
I'm trying to think. It makes sense to like go like just kind of generally like through the movie. But I'm trying to like. I mean, I guess I already kind of started basically because I just described the intro scene. So that happens, and then after that, isn't it like right after that we cut to Mike, or is there something that happens before that? I can't remember.
No, it just cuts the mic at his
Yeah,
house.
because it goes to him like waking up. Yeah, because his alarm clock goes off.
Yeah.
And then he wakes up. And he's getting ready. And then he wakes up his younger sister Abby, which I think she was technically already awake, but
she was drawing.
But she was pretending to be asleep.
No, she was in her.
Well, she was in her tent. But like,
she was in her tent. Was like our.
But like when he.
There she is.
Yeah, but when.
She's holding the bear too.
Yeah, but like when he came in, she like was like closed her eyes and was pretending to sleep. Also, when I was first watching the movie, I just assumed.
First watching the movie, I mean the only time you've seen the movie so far.
Like during like the first like however much, and before they like mentioned that thing, she is his sister. Like and they actually bring it up in the movie. I thought that like she was just like his daughter, and he was just like a single dad. Like that. I feel like you see that in decent amount of movies, but no, it's Mike's younger sister.
Yeah.
Because he's going to go to a job interview or whatever, and he does her get ready, but I don't know if he brings her, so I don't fully.
I think she was.
Oh no, because
she was home.
I think for like school, I think is what.
Probably.
Yeah, that makes sense. Never mind. So she probably goes to school, but they don't show it, so my brain just. I'm like brain dead right now.
Well, last time we saw her back when she was back drawing something.
Yeah. That was... Oh no, because the babysitter. But why would you get... I don't know. It doesn't fully matter. So he goes to like this mall.
Oh God.
And he's talking with some guy. He's never explained. Well, I think it might be. I just don't fully.
I think it was a friend of his.
Yeah, it was like a friend or something,
And he was randomly reading that book he had.
Yeah, because like Mike has this book about. It's basically a foreshadowing plot device essentially.
Basically.
Because basically it's talking about. I forget the exact wording. I'm gonna butcher this, but basically it's to do with like dreams.
Yeah.
And, like how like you can connect like memories or whatever through dreams, like something like that.
So that's one of the theories about dreams. Yes. It's like 4 different dream theories, though.
Yeah. But that's just a theory. A game theory.
Matt Pat did say that's just a theory.
He did.
I don't even remember the setup for it. All I remember was he's walking away from a table and he said it.
So it's a later scene, and so basically, he says that like lunch is the most important meal of the day, but then someone says like I thought that was breakfast, but he says something and like, but that's just a theory or something like that.
And then they were like, "Get out of here!" So he just walks back. So he just walks away. Get out of here! It's fucking Game Grumps. Imagine if they were in the movie, the Game Grumps. Get out of here! Doing like their random voices and stuff. Oh, that would have been funny.
But so
That's
anyways,
just a theory.
So,
A game theory. I wish he would have said that.
Yeah.
I just wish as he's like walking away, you just hear a game theory!
Yeah.
But I understand why they then haven't said that.
So after like as like they're talking about this book, like they finish talking about it, and then I think it's nothing.
Denny's getting ice cream.
Yeah, because like it's then he's just getting ice cream.
And then there's that girl sitting behind him talking about not wanting to put the hot fudge on the ice cream because it melts the ice cream or something like
Oh
that.
yeah, because like in front of him because he's waiting for ice cream, and like the lady in front of him, he like wants ice cream with fudge, but like on the side whatever so it doesn't melt, or it's like all specific. And then like he's getting in line to get his order, and he sees like this kid getting like grabbed by an adult. And so as the lady like turns around and is going to like get his order, he just books it. He's just booking it, and he's running toward this adult and the kid. He's going full throttle through everyone. He's just sprinting full speed. And then so they're by this waterfall, and
It was one of those like water fountains.
Yeah.
That's like
or
in
water
malls.
fountain is what I meant to say.
It has like it was like the circular ones where you throw coins into it, and it has like the big statue on it.
And so Michael tackles the adult, into the water fountain, and he just starts beating him up.
Beating the shit
Like, he's
out of
just
him.
punching him. He's just going for it. And then as this is happening, it cuts to him like waiting in a room.
Well, it cut to the kid saying like something about his dad.
Well, because it gets back to that scene.
Yeah.
So like he's in like a waiting room, and like he's like zoned out, and like his number is being called, and eventually he zones back in, and he goes in the office, and then we get good old Shaggy, if you will. It's not actually Shaggy, but it's the
voice,
the
actor
who played Shaggy in those like 2000s live action Scooby-Doo movies.
He looks quite a bit different,
Yeah,
which sort of surprised me.
He's definitely, like,
Because while
older
those
now.
movies are old, they're not like, they're not like as old as say the original Scooby Doo show is from now. Like,
but who knows how old he was when he those like Scooby Doo movies were made. So.
I think he was in his 20s or 30s.
Yeah.
That would make
So he's
sense.
probably like now like 40s, 50s or something.
Maybe.
Uh,
He looks
but
quite a bit different now, though.
but it's that actor who plays Shaggy in those live action Scooby Doo
Yeah.
movies. And he's looking at Mike's portfolio, and
It doesn't look good.
yeah, and he's confused because as he's talking, it cuts back to that scene at the water fountain, and it's real.
Well, it's because he brought it up. The guy interviewing him just randomly brought it
Yeah,
up, so that's when they cut back.
and so it's revealed that random adult was the kid's dad, and he was just being, and then like the kid is like dad or whatever.
Something, yeah, like
And
something to
someone
his
like
about
pulls
it.
Mike back.
It was
and,
his friend that he was reading the book with
yeah,
him.
uh, and then what else? There's like something else. Oh yeah, and then like there's one job he's at for maybe like months or days or whatever.
There's one where he was out there for a week.
Yeah, and then like there's like a car place or something.
There's like a tire place. He was not there very long.
Yeah, and then like whatever he's like at for a week.
And there's like a few other jobs
And there's
that
something,
weren't very long.
He I can't remember. There's some other things, but he's mentioning that like he was confused by everything and whatever, and I think that's when he starts saying his name, and then he like stops like before he finishes saying like Mike, because he says Mike or Michael, whatever.
Doesn't even attempt to say Schmidt. Just gives up.
Schmidt, and then after so he doesn't finish saying Schmidt, and then after that he starts getting weird.
Didn't even try to finish Schmidt. He just looked at it and then just was like, anyways.
And like it almost seemed like after that, like he recognized the name, and he started getting weird because of that. I don't know if that's true, but that seemed like it to me. But I don't know why, because it didn't really explain in the movie.
Well, if we're going off of the theory with the games, then technically he's talking to his son.
Yeah, so it could be that, honestly.
But then why was he trying to kill his son?
Yeah, I don't know.
None of it made sense. None of it makes. I'm assuming there's a reason why he trailed off with the name, but it's hard to.
Yeah, and then after that he
But we only have this one movie to base it off of, and he didn't really explain it really at all, so it's hard to really know.
But and then he gets up and offers some Mike coffee, and then
I'm not sure why he got so weird.
Yeah, and he's weird, kind of from that point onward. He also seemed desperate to get him a job or whatever. But I don't know. And he said I was getting coffee, at least for himself, that his options are very limited or whatever. And then I think Mike says some stuff and whatever, and eventually he mentions this security shift, and mentions that the pay isn't great and the hours are worse.
That sounds like the
It
games.
is one thing you mentioned, and basically that it was not a great job, but it was essentially the only thing that he could offer. Although, obviously, with the rest of the movies, I feel like it's not so much there was literally nothing else he could be offered, but that's what he wanted to offer Mike. Also, I just realized, because he probably recognizes Schmidt because his younger brother, right?
Oh.
Because he killed his younger brother, so he probably recognizes the last name.
Probably.
So he probably wanted to, like, he's like, oh, this is his older brother. Why not just get him?
Why not kill off the rest of the
I
family?
just got it now.
That's probably why he killed off the. Yeah, that
And
actually
then
makes a
and
lot
he
more
probably,
sense.
I wonder if he, like, influenced... You think he knew in any way about Abby before Mike brought her there at all? Because I wonder if in some
Considering
way...
how big that age gap is, it's hard to say.
But I wonder if, like, some way, like, through the animatronics or whatever, like, he, like, found out or whatever, and, like...
Well, I knew about her later.
Yeah, but regardless, I think that makes sense. Like, especially since he would probably assume that Mike was, like, would want, like, be trying to look for his younger brother and whatever. Where was I? Oh yeah, and so, you know, he offers this job, and you know, Mike says that he can't do night shifts, which, you know, and then you know, the you know, guy, like, hiring says that's a shame, and then he gives Mike a card if he has a change of heart.
His business card.
And then, you know, Mike goes home, says hi to his babysitter, and
I don't even remember. Yeah.
trying to think. Oh yeah, because he has like I think like an eviction notice or something.
Yeah, on the. Which is probably a reference to the games.
Yeah.
Because I swear in one of them you get an eviction notice.
Yeah, well, because you get like there's a termination notice, because like when you do like the custom night, because you like tamper with the animatronics.
Well, yeah, because in the games you're trying to get the souls out, which is why you're tampering with them. Or at least that's the theory. The game theory! Which also makes sense for why, you know, in Pizzeria Simulator, there's that one line.
Yeah.
But it. I don't know. It is what it is.
And then. Oh yeah, and then because it's like later, and Mike goes into like Abby's room and she's like drawing a picture, and he's, you know, asking her to, like, you know, come and eat dinner, and she says he's not hungry, and he keeps trying to force her, and then, you know, he breaks one of her crayons, and then he just, like, leaves. And then I'm trying to think. After that, I think after that, doesn't he just, like, yeah, he just, like, goes to his bed, I think.
I think so.
Because I think...
Jake pops some sleeping pills.
Yeah, he
Turns on the nature sounds soundtrack. Looks at his poster of Nebraska and passes out.
Because like he has like on his like ceiling above his bed like a Nebraska poster.
This is Visit Nebraska.
And he has like nature sounds and he takes pills and then he's going to sleep. And then we like it's slowly zooming into the poster and then we like enter the scene. And it's this like family like camping
dinner
trip picnic thing.
Yeah, the mom, the dad, two little brothers.
Yeah.
Well, older brother sitting at the table was the mom. Younger brother playing was an airplane.
And like, you know, there's different things that happen. Like, you know, something like the burgers, like something with the ketchup, like, you know.
Yeah, so putting. The mom said something about
yeah,
ketchup.
And then like she knocked over like a.
It was a can of Coca-Cola.
Yeah, it was like a bottle of it, whatever.
Yeah, she knocked down like one of those glass bottles of it and started spilling.
She had like a napkin for later, and then
She told the older brother to watch the
yeah,
younger
and then like
brother, and then he
they're
watches
yeah,
a frisbee hit the
because like
ground, and
because the dad is like making some food, the mom is gonna go napkins, so the older brother is told to look after the younger brother.
then he gets distracted by the frisbee that falls
Yeah,
by
and then
him.
he starts looking for him, and then he, I think that's what then we see him in a
The
car,
back of a car driving away.
uh, and he's chasing after him, and then it switches to the older version of that older boy, and what do you know? It's Mike. So,
Chasing after this car.
and then I forget. Oh yeah, I think it's just like leaves like on him, just like running after it, and then he like wakes up. Uh, and then after that, oh yeah, right, because it then goes to Abby's school, because it's him, Mike, with uh his aunt.
Yes.
Yeah, his aunt.
Which would also be his sister's aunt, because
Yeah.
that's how family works. And her lawyer, who does not want to be there
Yeah,
at all.
his lawyer, who looks like he's just out of it and just.
Her lawyer was not happy to be there.
He looks like a deer in headlights a lot of the time. Like he just did not feel like he did not look like he should have been there.
Mm-hmm.
And you know the aunt is arguing.
Fucking terrible. That's what she is.
She's arguing with the principal. I'm assuming. It looked like it. That like.
Or at least like the teacher or someone at the
I think it was
school.
principal, but like Mike later talked with like Abby's teacher.
It looked like the same person to me.
I'm not entirely sure, to be honest, but
Either way, they were talking to someone that worked at the
and
school.
the aunt was arguing that she, of course, should have custody of Abby because Mike is not like.
Or at least Mike shouldn't have custody of
Yeah.
her and should at least put her up for adoption or whatever.
Yeah, and she wanted to, like.
Take custody, and
Take custody
that
of
sounds
Abby.
like a terrible idea, but whatever.
And Mike is just done with all of her crap. And
He doesn't say a word the entire
and
scene,
then,
he's
like,
just
she starts,
sitting
like,
there.
Victim blaming herself, and she starts like crying because I forget exactly what, but like it was dumb. Like not like in a bad like scripting way, but like just her as a person in the movie just. And then she makes the lawyer good old Doug, I believe.
Oh yeah, Doug.
Out of this like this big old like thing he's like holding this.
It was like a
suitcase or whatever. It's like.
It definitely wasn't a suitcase.
Not like a suitcase.
It was a
but,
bag.
Like, a little bag.
It's like a little bag.
And he pulled out like
Oh.
these files of like basically something for him to sign to like give up custody or whatever.
You better believe he didn't sign those papers.
And he grabbed that, and then he was talking with like the teacher, principal, whatever. At like Abby's school that like, he thinks that Diana is whatever, but that she's right and that he's not. He doesn't think that he's fit.
Oh.
That he's fit for.
That's a fun picture. What was there?
I don't know. But
That was weird.
he doesn't feel like he's fit to look after Abby, but then the teacher, principal, whatever, reassures him that like he is important. Basically she goes on this whole thing that obviously ties in like later in the movie. It's another foreshadowing, which is fine. I don't.
It's
care.
about how people first learn to basically look at symbols.
Like kids first learn like to communicate like not through words but through like drawings and stuff.
Slash symbol slash
Symbol.
objects slash not words. Body movements. I don't know.
And so you know, like, and she brings up that, like, you know, Abby has, like, Mike in the middle of, like, almost all of her drawings. Um, and so, you know, that helps reassure him. And then, trying to think. Because there's obviously the eviction notice, but then there's something specifically with Abby. Was it the whole, like, aunt situation that, like,
That came later.
because, like, there's, like, something with Abby specifically that, like, made him, like, you know, like, accept the job, right? Like,
Yeah, she was sleeping. He was looking at her and sort of had that realization that she's my world now, and I need to do what I can to help her. So that's why he called.
Yeah, and then the next morning, you know, she's, like, drawing on the floor, I think, slash watching TV or whatever. And then Mike calls up the guy from earlier who offered him the job.
Calls up Shaggy.
Good old Shaggy.
That was not his name, but that, imagine if it was.
Yeah, we're just gonna call him Shaggy.
Shaggy Rogers.
Call him Shaggy for now, because
Shaggy Rogers.
big reveal. But so Mike calls up good old Shaggy.
Well, he had an actual name,
yeah,
but the actor played Shaggy.
Well, yeah,
In the live action movie.
He also had, like, a name on his, like, desk in the movie.
Yeah, that was the name I was thinking of, but I don't remember what it was. I think it started with an L or something.
I think it was like an S. At, like,
or a C or something.
There was like an S at the beginning of one of them.
There was an S in there.
Well, it's in there.
Imagine if his name on the desk was Leroy Jenkins. You probably could find a picture of that specific scene.
Yeah.
Of his tag. I don't know what you would type exactly, but I would hit that right arrow, but you know.
Yeah.
So we're not gonna hit that right arrow. But yeah, so he calls them, takes the job, and he, like, goes there. Be nice if we could figure out his name, but whatever.
We'll just call him Shaggy.
We'll call him, yeah, he's Shaggy.
So he calls him up and basically says, like, yeah, I'll take this job. Oh yeah, and then so as he's, like, going, like, driving to the place and going in it, like, you know, Shaggy is, like, explaining.
Yeah, like, over the phone, telling him about it.
Yeah, like, he's, like, explaining things. Like, it's supposed to be like before he left, like, he's saying all these things. But in the movie, obviously, they do a cool, like, shot stuff where, like, he's
kind of
talking.
They also kind of made it seem like he was just getting a call from Shaggy, but it's hard to say.
I'm not sure.
They kind of made it seem like Shaggy just decided to call him and tell him about this, but they also made it seem like he told him before he left, but we're just hearing it now.
Yeah, it would make more sense if it was like that, but
it does make more sense if it was the latter than
but
before.
But yeah, he gives, like, a bunch of, like, exposition. I forget the specifics of what he said, honestly. But
basically, just how the job works, how it's super simple, how all you have to do is keep people from getting in, yada yada yada.
And then it, like,
leaves out all the important parts because of course he did.
And then
the usual.
He's also, like, very, like, weird during this, like, you know, like ever since, you know, he sees, like, Mike's last name, he's just weird. Like, his
whole attitude changed.
Normal-ish, but, like, otherwise he's just, you know.
If only we had Markiplier. If he was in the movie, that would have changed the whole vibe of it real fast.
Oh man, it just sucked that he would have been in it, but he had his own movie, so.
Well, if we do get a sequel movie, there's a good chance he'll be in that at least.
But but then, you know, that whole, like, section ends with, like, Mike turning on the cameras in the office. And then
it'd be kind of funny if, like, they made they were able to make a version of the movie later for like DVD or something that includes Markiplier.
That'd be cool.
And hey guys, Orange Disco here. Today we're reacting to the Five Nights at Freddy's movie, but with Markiplier this time.
Imagine they had like a director's cut or something.
And he's just, well, I don't know.
Or,
It'd be kind of weird if they had him in that because he's not in the movie at all.
yeah, but I mean, I guess it makes sense in a way because it was like originally, like he was originally intended to be in there. I don't know.
I just, it is kind of upsetting at least a little bit that he wasn't.
Because out of everyone, that was like the cameo person I was excited to see the most. But you know,
I mean, Corey Extension was cool.
yeah.
Did you know he quit YouTube for a bit?
Oh yeah.
I think he meant to maybe permanently leave, or at least he was
he
quitting.
meant to after like 30 million, I think.
Yeah, but then he came back.
But then he came back, which is nice.
So I don't know why he even planned on leaving in the first place. Yeah, because that was like his goal. He had like, I don't think he always had that number in his head, you know, because you never know what you're gonna hit. But then he was like, 30 million seems like a good number for where I'm currently at. And then once he hit it, he straight up, he made a video, like a farewell video, left. And I believe now he's back doing YouTube.
Yeah.
So, we're just gonna, there we go.
I think he like.
What?
I don't. Is that supposed to be Mike?
No, that's Corey.
Oh yeah, duh.
But for some reason, it's a drawing. What? What FNAF fans on TikToks saw what we're getting. Five Nights at Freddy's in the movie. What does that even mean?
I guess people want to be like all like crazy and like, you know.
Those Saw movies are absolutely terrifying. What the hell is that?
Oh, it's when Mike is like in the death's chair.
Oh, I see it now. I saw that as like a weird thing. So then the whole and the. Okay.
Yeah, I can watch that movie now because I don't have to worry about being spoiled.
Oh, it's just a picture of the spelling words on the teacher's board. Funny project manager Fox. Vain town chick. Wrinkle trophies Liberty Bear Rabbit Heart. Junior puppet musician. Clearly there's some references going on her board. If you know what. Pretty much the entire board. The entire board, pretty much. I would say the entire board, for the most part, is a reference to, yeah, that's kind of funny. Oh.
It's the animatronics in real life.
I think it's at, like, a museum or something, though.
Something like that.
I don't know where they are, but it doesn't...
I've seen like a couple videos that, like, I haven't, like, watched them, but, like, I saw those videos of people, like, visiting them in real life.
Yeah, but I wonder where they are. What?
Probably just like some random person like dressed up.
I'm just gonna skip over live
Hey.
Doug reaction.
It's our boy Doug. Good old Michael.
What? I can't even read that.
Oh man.
I think so. I can't even read it. It's so small. Oh god.
Oh yeah, that scene.
Is he supposed to be smiling? I don't know.
So.
Oh my god. Why?
That poor teacher.
I don't know. Jeremy!
Oh hey. Fun fact about that balloon boy. So there's a little balloon boy like figurine.
It's a bobblehead. A balloon boy.
And there's like 3 times in the movie.
Well, it starts off in a closet.
Like it's in a locker, like in like.
Yeah, it's in a locker.
In the office.
And then it's on like a shelf in like a back room.
It's like one of the storage rooms.
and then it knocks on a car, and then knocks on a car door, and it's sitting in the passenger seat of a car.
Which is in the same car as that Corey Kenshin is
So three people. So Michael twice, Corey once freaks out over a little bobblehead of this demonic demon child. Oh, that's cool. It's like a drawing of it. Hi, buddy. Hi, buddy. Do not strum the guitar
in. Oh yeah.
under all circumstances. It's, oh my god, it's the fun time. Me leaving the theater after Freddy says, first rule of FNAF, you don't talk about FNAF. Second rule of FNAF, you do not talk about FNAF. That's really stupid, whatever. Don't know what that is. That's a full-on game theory thing. Okay, well, we're... This feels unrelated. Nope, I see it now. There's some... Okay, we're just gonna... Jesus. Where are so many of these unrelated? Oh, hey, there we go. Let's have the changing one.
Oh hey.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh yeah, because he was in the office, and then what? Like after he turns on the monitors, does he like just then like exit the office, or is that when he like moves the locker and sees the balloon boy bubblehead?
Well, that's when he got his vest. His vest as a security was in there.
Yeah.
And then while he's in the room, he watches the VCR tape
Yeah.
that cuts out for whatever reason.
Doesn't he like? There's some reason he walks out, right? Because eventually he goes out.
Yeah, he hears something under that curtain, walks
Yeah.
over to it, and it's just Bonnie, Chica, and Freddy just standing there
Yeah.
doing nothing. So, and then he just like shines his flashlight at them a couple times and then walks away. Doesn't even bother checking on Fox, he just leaves.
Yeah, and then I think. Oh yeah, and then he eventually falls asleep.
Yeah.
In the office. And then that's the second dream sequence, right? When that starts.
Yeah.
And
And there's
so,
that terrible sound over the flipping intercom.
Oh yeah.
Jesus Christ.
And so he goes into that dream again, right? Where
Good old Nebraska.
it's good old Nebraska. It's his family having a picnic, and it kind of like speeds through a little bit, like it kind of goes through the different things that happened. And then
There's now
adult
5
Mike,
children.
Yeah, adult Mike is like yelling after like the car, and then he turns around and 5 children are there, which weren't there before.
One was a paper top hat, one was a paper hook thing on his hand.
One had like bunny ear, like bunny ears.
Yeah, one had paper bunnies, one was in a brown and white striped shirt.
Yeah.
And then there was the fifth one.
Yeah.
That I think was just a girl wearing yellow and white. That was it. For the most part.
And then he's like trying to talk to them, and they just don't respond at all.
They run away immediately, so he
They run
chases
away,
after.
And he chases after the one with the hook.
He chases after the one wearing brown and white, trips over the rock, sprains his ankle on the lake. Sprains his ankle on the dream, but in real life he fell out of his chair and is on the floor. And his watch is saying 6 a.m., so he leaves.
Yeah.
You're thinking of the next dream sequence.
But and
And he goes back home.
He goes back home.
This is already longer than the last one by quite a bit.
And then the babysitter, like, asked him how he went, and I think he said it was, like, weird or whatever.
Something.
And then... Oh, and then what? What happens then? Oh, yeah, isn't that... Is that, like... like after that, isn't that when it's the diner scene?
Yeah, sometime
Yeah,
after that.
cause then I think if I'm
It's the
assuming,
babysitter, some random guy, Duck, and then the aunt are
yeah.
all
So
sitting at a
cause so the
table.
thing right is like like Mike comes home and he says whatever, and then like he mentioned that like he'll eventually like pay the babysitter, and she says it's like all right and whatever. And then we
It
got to
sure will be.
uh, and then we get to the diner scene where we get good old Matt Pat.
Lunch is the most important meal of the day. I refer to as breakfast. Well, blah 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 blah. But that's just a theory.
uh,
Get out of here. Okay, he just walks off without saying anything else.
so at the diner we have the babysitter and I think like her boyfriend or something.
Some random
Boyfriend
ass
or
dude.
friend or something.
Some guy
And
in
they're
relation to
talking
her.
with the aunt from earlier and good old Doug.
Dude, like, who does not want to be there?
Yeah.
And then they mention murder at one point, so Doug tries to leave, and the aunt forces him to stay.
Yeah. Um, and uh, and so basically we find out that the aunt had that babysitter like basically as like an undercover like spy to try and like get dirt on Mike, but he was just a good taker that just sleeped a lot.
And she wasn't having that at all.
Yeah, she wanted to like have incriminating evidence on him.
Because she's a little pussy.
And so they mentioned things, and like Doug says that like he should be hearing this, and he tried to leave, and the aunt forces him to say it, and like the guy, like the boyfriend or whatever, says like maybe they should like kill him, and like Doug tries to get up, and then the aunt like forces him back down.
And then she goes enticing.
But she's like enticing, but like no or something, and I was just like enticing.
You really want to kill off your nephew that badly?
Like that was messed up, but
So they settle on the guy going into the restaurant and breaking a bunch
they
of
decide
shit.
to like since his job is to just make sure nobody gets in, because he literally said like if he's supposed to make sure that nobody gets in, we'll get in or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
it's not good like that, but so basically they're gonna try and like break into the restaurant and just mess things up.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like soon after. I think right after this is. Don't we just cut to his next night shift? Or is this
Pretty much.
before? Can't. Oh.
Well, it's him
Oh,
there,
wait.
and they pals
Oh
asleep.
no! I remember. So it goes back to home, and like Abby wants to go with him. And
Yep,
she's
wearing his vest.
Well, he says no, and he like drags her into her room as she's like kicking and screaming as he's like carrying her.
He took my vest.
And then he says to the babysitter, "She's all yours." And then we go to the restaurant again, and then he like gets set up and he's doing whatever, and then we hear like a buzzer or whatever, get someone to try and get in. He opens.
Well, he like fell asleep, and that's like.
Right, yeah. So before that, he falls asleep again.
He falls asleep again, and then the kid with the hook on his hand, flipping, stabs him in the arm with it, so now he's bleeding.
And then when he wakes up, he has that same like scratch from the
and then he hears the door and sees a police
officer. And he goes out to see the police officer, who introduces herself as Vanessa.
From Security Breach.
Yeah.
Although she has a last name now, so whatever.
Yeah, which if she did have one in Security Breach, it was like in like some kind of like file, like one of the like lore file things,
Probably.
Um.
We haven't played enough of that game to know.
But so she's there, and her explanation
is fucking terrible.
Is that she's like it's on her like route or whatever, so she like
again it's terrible.
Keeps up on it with but
We'll get more to that
Yeah,
later.
yeah, we'll get into it. It gets explained. Trust us. Um,
Somewhat explained.
uh, and uh, if she comes in and um,
Have you met
and
them
then
yet? Them? Yeah, let me show you. Starts turning on all the
yeah,
flipping lights and the
she
power.
also like gives Mike a bandage for his dream injury.
Because he's bleeding to death. Because he's
Um,
bleeding, so that
and
makes
then like she
sense.
slams the Showtime button and the curtains open and like all the lights and like the animatronics start singing and stuff.
Wanna dance?
Oh yeah, and then the bunny's guitar like it like just sort circuits or whatever, so uh, it'll like turns off, uh,
Guess not.
and
Maybe next time.
oh yeah, cause like yes, like Mike, like do you want to
And
dance?
that, and then everything went wrong.
And then
And then
she's like,
she's maybe next time.
uh, and uh, and then after that, I'm trying to think, it's like what she something else that happens.
Oh, they talked for a bit, and then they
Yeah.
left.
And then eventually, like he finishes his shift and he leaves. And then when he leaves, oh, because like they walk out and like they talk about some stuff. And so he leaves. And then the the babysitter's friend or boyfriend, whatever, and then like two other random guys, they come in, right?
Mm-hmm.
To come and break stuff. So, uh, they walk in, they just start breaking arcade machines and like different things of glass. A lot of glass breaking.
One kid's earbuds mysteriously
Yeah, so
disappeared.
like one of them like has like earbuds he like puts in and like puts his hood up, and then like the next time we see him, he has his hood down and no earbuds. So, but it's assumed that enough time passes between whatever. But
Is it now?
I don't know. But I don't really care enough. It's just kind of a funny noticed thing,
Uh,
at least for me.
although his shirt was a reference, so that was
Oh
cool.
yeah, because on his shirt, he had like Pizzeria Simulator. Like one of the games is called like Midnight Motorist, and he had like
Yeah.
a little from that
I
like
think
on his
that's. I
shirt,
think there's something similar to it in FNAF 4 as well.
something. And then
Because in FNAF 4, there's that part where you like get to drive that car on that road,
mm,
and then if you like go that path, you then end up at like a house, and like a purple man walks out, and then you like walk to the house, and then you like say something to.
yeah,
You know what I'm talking
that's
about?
Pizzeria Simulator.
I swear that was FNAF 4.
I don't think there's a car thing in four,
I
but
vaguely remember.
or
Well, the car. I mean, the car thing was about 4. Because the idea
yeah,
of him going to the house is perceived as him going home to see the kid at in 4.
yeah.
That's what I was. It's too. I'm too tired to
Yeah.
get my to get it across.
There's also like earlier in that like the ice cream like in the mall like the ice cream place had like
Uh,
the rainbow like character from like FNAF World like the from the second update stuff.
we should play that game for the channel.
Yeah, but
I love FNAF World.
anyways, so they're breaking stuff, and then the earbud kid, so he's in the kitchen.
And there is a very shaky fridge in the kitchen.
Yeah, and like a friggin' idiot, he walks to the fridge and then he opens it. Doesn't see anything, and then he like one door of it. He opens the other one, the cupcake. Good old
Chica's cupcake is just sitting in
which
there.
the fandom calls him Carl,
Carl was sitting in there.
but I don't know if it has an official like name.
It's
It's
just a cup. It's just
just
cupcake.
the cupcake, but
Yeah.
in the community has called him Carl for years. So whatever you want to call him, but
And then he like heard the noise, looked somewhere else, and then Carl was gone.
and then he looks back again, and it's Chica. uh,
And Carl.
and she's not happy. And then Carl just goes after the kid and like just like latches onto his face and just starts going to town
He kills him.
with like razor sharp teeth and just goes
And
at
then
her.
this older guy saw that
Yeah,
Jim, I think was his name.
or something, and then he like starts running through it, and like the boyfriend or friend of like the babysitter like was like in the office and saw him on the cameras just running around,
And then he went into a closet.
and
Then the door like locked or something, got stuck
but
or
then of
something.
course like good old FNAF 1, Bonnie was in the closet, and so he slowly walked toward him, and he
Yeah, his like hand hits the glass, so you see like a bloody
yeah.
handprint and stuff. And then the door finally, like at one
Yeah,
point,
and like the,
opened.
the the one like the last the third guy,
It's in the hallway by the closet.
and then the door slowly opens.
Watches Bonnie walk out of the
He
closet.
drops his crowbar that he's holding, and he starts running with like money, like because they were stealing money also.
Yeah, so like you just hear like quarters hitting the
Yeah, you see all
ground.
these coins falling around, and he's like running through, and then eventually he makes it into the office, and oh yeah,
Chica sent her cupcake
and
after
so
him.
like he's in the office and he sees Bonnie and Chica by a vent, and Chica is slowly like lowering down by the vent, and he's just standing there doing nothing. And eventually, like the cupcake like goes into the vent, and like soon like long after that, like she like goes like back up, and eventually he's like, oh
So he runs to the vet and is keeping the cupcake out with his
yeah.
body.
So he's like stopping it from like getting out of the vent. And
Then he runs to the door and he hears that classic sound.
yeah, because like
And then Foxy runs towards him like a speed
yeah.
demon and he
Because like he
dies.
walks out and then he goes and then the door closes and he can't open it, and then Foxy does his
Do,
dum
do,
dum
do,
dums,
dum, 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 dum,
and then he just starts
dum,
he just
dum, dum.
like goes like speeds right toward him, and he also does the his like humming like in the intro with like the first random guy that was supposed to be Markiplier, and then he does like a third time, and I think that's
He
it.
did it to Michael,
Yeah.
to Mike once, and
Um.
Oh,
And but yeah, and then so that's what ends up happening to him, and he can't like get any of the doors open, so he just he just is taken care of.
yeah.
Oh yeah, and
And
then
then the babysitter walks out of a truck, walks into the restaurant, and then she sees a kid wearing,
it's like yellow and white or something.
yeah, but it wasn't the girl from the dream world, it was just some
Yeah.
kid wearing yellow and white, and that led her to Freddy.
Yeah, and so Freddy's just sitting there, and she's like, and the kid is like over here or something.
I
Like
think there might have been another animatronic in the room, but it was like an out of service one that
yeah,
needed repairing.
but like the kid was saying like over here or something. It was like muffled, and so like she was like slowly looking. I think she even like gets on like a step stool or something. Like the
No,
babysitter.
she
Or...
got one of those like folding metal chairs and
Yeah.
like unfolded it and is standing on that and it's getting like
And
real up close
yeah, and
to
she's like, and
Freddy's
she's looking
face.
through like at like right in front of Freddy's face, like right next to it, and then a hand comes out and grabs her face, drags her in halfway, and then Freddy just chomps her in half,
Like literally in half.
like from her like waist, like is just in half.
Everything waist up is gone, everything waist down hits the floor.
Yeah, like Freddy didn't bite off her face or her head or anything. No, her entire like upper half of her body.
Which is quite a bit different than
Yeah.
FNF 2, where where that kid's head got completely crushed by Freddy's powerful jaws.
Yeah.
I wonder if that was supposed to be somewhat of a reference to that.
Yeah.
Probably.
Um.
And then Vanessa shows up at Michael's house.
Oh yeah, because the break-in, and she also found his pills, which I think before that, I don't know. I think it already happened, but like he like that poster he had on the ceiling, he like tore it down, and like he put it like in the office,
Yeah.
along with his like nature sounds and his pills, because he has like sleep pills to sleep easier.
Plus, they had that plastic badge at this point.
Oh yeah,
Because Vanessa, when she went to the pizzeria, like, you forgot your badge, and then
yeah
she like went to the price corner and gave him one of those
yeah
plastic badges. Like, now you're official.
because he's intentionally trying to not just like dream, but like he's trying to like have this specific dream where he lost his brother. He's trying to like see the person who did it. And then he like after the first night he falls asleep, when he like sees the 5 kids, he starts like he brings all his sleeping stuff there into the office so that he can like like interact with those kids and like ask them uh you know like who the person who took his brother was and whatever. And obviously it takes him forever for them to give him like any answer. They don't really give him an answer, do they? Like themselves.
Well, they give him a drawing for an answer, but that's not till later.
Yeah. But
They kinda did, but not really.
yeah,
If he would have been paying attention to the drawing,
yeah.
but instead he was a flipping moron.
Um.
Oh yeah, he gave Abby his badge, and she just
Oh yeah.
gave it right back to him, just didn't want to deal with it. And then she
Yeah.
opened up the drawer he put it in later and found the papers.
Oh yeah, because she found the like papers to like.
And he, of course, tried to reassure her he wasn't going to do anything with it, basically.
Yeah.
And then she comes with him that night to the pizzeria.
Yeah, and like he like
Makes
yeah.
a little fort for her.
Yeah, with like blankets and pillows and stuff, and she just sleeps there. And then and then he like goes to sleep because he's trying to do his dream thing. But then the kids are like talking to Abby and trying to get her like to go to the main area. And then she goes there and and I'm trying to remember it exactly.
Well, when she did, it cuts to his dream again.
Yeah.
And I believe that's the kid in the brown and the white striped shirt has like a stick and is like making something and like poking the mud with it.
And he like Mike like gets down on his knee and like he's trying to just talk to the kid and like get answers.
If we show you, will you give us what we want, whatever you want?
And then like the kid just disappears.
And in the mud is a drawing of a bunny.
Oh yeah. And then
not just a bunny.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And then he hears like the screams of Abby in his dream, and then he like wakes up or whatever. I think it's also because like the intercom or something like wakes him up.
The intercom was all faulty as all heck.
Yeah. And then like he hears like Abby like screaming, and so he like runs out, and like he sees all the animatronics like around her, and so he like picks up a chair and like starts coming after them, and then Freddy like walks up to him and he's just frozen there.
And he immediately realizes this chair isn't gonna do much.
Yeah. And then Abby says that they were tickling her, which I don't even know how that's totally possible. Man.
They can move their fingers.
Yeah. But
I don't know how much they were able to, though.
Yeah. But, they like Abby introduces them to Mike and then Mike to them, whatever. And mentions like Mike's her brother, so Freddy relaxes and obviously he's freaking out. And, well, at first in the classic he doesn't believe that is real, and he's like calling out to people like pulling a prank on him. With obviously there's no one, because it's not a prank, it's
There's a
fully
good
real.
chance this poor animatronics buddy was a crazy person for doing that.
And then he was like trying to leave, but like Abby like makes like draws a little heart and like this like piece of paper and gives it to Bonnie, and then they leave, uh, and then they go back home, and I think that's then when Mike like brings up like that picture. Well, because he finds pictures of like the five kids.
Well, he looks in her room and sees a
Yeah.
bunch of pictures of them.
And then he's like asking about them. Uh, and then
Well, and then he found that picture of Garrett.
yeah, and he found a picture of like his younger brother Gary who went missing, like that Abby made, and asked her about it, and if she knew anything, what she didn't, um, and then I forget exactly like I think she says something about like the five kids knowing something about it or something, right?
Well, she said that they told her.
Or yeah, and then oh yeah, and then at some point I think like during like around that scene, like Mike's trying to call the babysitter, which
It does not work because she did.
yeah, she's in two pieces.
Well, I think when he first tried calling her, that's when he just like let her come with him.
Yeah, yeah, I think that's the first, and then
But I think he
this.
might have called someone.
Cause I know, like he obviously uh was trying to call the babysitter at one point, and that didn't work. And I think that's then when he brought her like the first night, and she,
Then he brought her again,
and then Vanessa
Vanessa was there.
came, and then they, it was like
Built a massive fort.
they made a fort, and they're having fun. And then at one point, Vanessa is getting stuff to like, cover up the, like the fort so it has like a roof. And in the back room, like Mike goes with Vanessa, and
About dies.
because he sees like the small like spring lock suit, and he's about to touch it, but Vanessa's like, "Don't." She goes to a broomstick and like pokes it, and it like snaps off like a whole part of it because it closes a bit. And so that's whatever.
And he's, of course, asking her a bunch of
Yeah, he's
questions.
asking
She
her.
dodges every
Yeah,
question.
like he asks us a bunch of questions, and like she's avoiding a lot, and she's getting like more and more like
As-
upset
and agitated with him.
and agitated, and then
for some reason.
I forget what all they talk about, but
And then when they go back, Abby's dancing with the animatronics.
yeah, and like like Mike's like continuing the question Vanessa, like as they're walking out, like
Then Abby touches that guitar string.
oh yeah, and then like Bonnie's playing guitar, and she like strums the guitar, and it like goes haywire, and like blasts Abby a bit.
Yeah, 'cause that's like a flipping, it like flashbanged her.
Yeah.
So she like fell unconscious for a second and like couldn't see for a bit. And then Vanessa basically made Mike promise her that he wouldn't bring Abby again.
And she also like mentioned that like if he brought Abby back again,
She would shoot him.
Yeah.
Which is quite mighty words.
Yeah. And then oh yeah, I forgot to mention like when Vanessa comes with like the pills after like all the guys like break in and die, like Mike and Vanessa like have a talk by that like riverside, and he's just talking about like
Garrett.
whole situation with Garrett and trying to like re-enter that memory because like, with the dream stuff and whatever, uh, and other stuff. But it's just that, and then when they get back, I think is then Mike goes on the phone, and then the next morning he makes bacon, and he tells Abby to get up and get dressed, and of course when she comes out, it's Michael
And the fucking aunt.
and the aunt, because
and she immediately hates Mike forever.
yeah, and then she like runs to her room and starts like crossing out his face and like
Runs to the room, closes the door, yeah.
Like she closes locks herself in the room and like starts like scribbling and like crossing out like his face on like a bunch of her drawings.
Cause you sort of misunderstood what was happening
yeah.
about, but whatever.
And then the aunt is being whatever, and then Michael goes out. He gets some pills, and like he just like rushes out, and someone calls him an asshole.
That's the guy who gave him the pills.
Yeah, the guy who gave him the pills.
Because he was talking about like how what helps him sleep was like milk, honey, and something else.
Like chamomile, like tea, whatever, and like honey.
Yeah, it was milk, black caramel. It was hot. It was warm milk, black caramel tea, and honey.
Yeah.
And then because Mike's kind of in a rush, he takes the pills and leaves. And as he's leaving, like through one of the aisles, the guy is just what an asshole.
Yeah.
And then he goes back to the pizzeria.
Yeah, he goes back to pizzeria, and then he like immediately gets everything set up so he can go
to the
dream.
And it's different.
And it's different. Like he turns around and instead of the normal situation, like the dad, like I think like he's like dropping in like Garrett, his younger brother, like onto the table, and
the mom's sitting there eating something, and
yeah, and then like the mom like invites him to like sit down, and is like why are you standing there, and like whatever, and Michael's like, this isn't the normal dream, like this is different, like what's happening, and then he turns around and the like 5 kids are there, and they basically say that like he can have like Garrett back as long as they get whatever they want, which they decided is Abby.
And then he initially says yes, says no, and then they start beating and then these 5 kids start beating the crap out of him.
Because he says like yes, but then like as he's like touching Garrett's face, it flashes to like when he's like brushing like Abby's face, and he's like, actually no, and then they start just like coming in from.
I guess they got I guess they got angry at him.
Yeah, because he realized like, wait, I don't want to do this, and they just started just like just.
And then he was just laying there, bleeding in this dream.
And then I think that's when when Golden Freddy comes in, because like Abby's like drawing her in a room on an Etch-a-Sketch. The aunt is trying to get her out, but she's just like when she sits down, watches some TV.
And then Abby sees one of the kids.
Yeah, and then like we see in the background.
Don't worry. Freddy. Aunt Jen is sleeping. She's fucking dead as hell on the floor.
And then they get a taxi with the one and only Corey Kenshin.
Yep, as the driver.
And Abby,
so what are you up to, little girl? And then the entire taxi shakes because this multiple 100-pound animatronic is walking in.
Yeah, and then he looks back and he obviously like jumps back as obviously a giant animatronic.
Why do I always get the weirdos at night?
And then he obviously like takes them there, and then and then Vanessa eventually brings them in.
Well, she patched up
Mike
when he comes back. When he comes back to his senses and wakes up.
To like, I think she said like the police station or like some whatever thing.
Something like that.
And we're seeing like Abby walk in and like close the door's closed behind her, and she looks back and Golden Freddy is gone. and then she's like walking through, and like Vanessa's like, oh yeah, because like this is when she finally like really kind of reveals a bunch more stuff to Michael about.
Finally.
Oh yeah, like how that like the ghost of the kids isn't the like only thing in the animatronics, but it's
Also
also
their
their
bodies.
bodies.
Probably
And
because of all those spring lock things or
yeah,
something.
well actually, because with those, because I know like in the original like, games, like the lore is that William Afton like after he killed him, he stuffed them in the animatronics because no one would find them because no one would expect him to be there at all.
Yeah.
And so
Then
like
he went into the spring trap suit.
yeah,
Which
then,
was an older suit from I think the Fredbear days.
Yeah.
So it still had the spring locks.
And I don't fully remember like what
Fredbear's Family Diner. I wish there was more games where you're like in the Fredbear restaurant. I'd like to see it more, but it's whatever.
And I forget like what all she mentioned. She mentions that, and she mentions that she mentioned good old William Afton.
Yeah, because she's telling him how to like beat them, and then she hands him that photograph of her holding Garrett's plane.
Yeah.
Was standing there with a yellow bunny.
Good old spring bunny.
Spring trap, spring butt. Yeah, same thing.
And I don't know if it's in that.
And then he starts freaking out because he saw Garrett's plane.
And I don't know if is it that scene or is it a later one where she reveals that William Afton is her dad. Is that a later scene or is that this scene? I feel like is this one?
No, she calls him William Afton. I think in that scene.
Yeah, but
I don't think she said. I don't think she said it was her dad yet, but she might have.
Maybe, but
I think she might have.
And then
My dad.
And then and she
because in the picture it's her and her dad together.
Yeah, and
so.
She's holding the plane, and he and Michael asked if she knew about this, and she said like she didn't know about Garrett like when they first met, but I guess obviously she had learned since or whatever.
And then he drives as fast as he can back to the restaurant.
While this is like happening, like Abby like goes to the animatronics, and like Chica waves at her to like come follow her, and then they go into this back room with that spring lock little like the smaller like spring lock animatronic suit that Michael and Vanessa looked at earlier that chopped off that broomstick is sitting right there on a table. Wow, that's convenient.
Mm-hmm.
And then
I think Michael may have shocked both Freddy and Bonnie at this point.
Oh yeah, because he's there and he's he drops water, and then because Vanessa gave him like 15 different tasers.
She gave him one of those taser guns where you pull the little trigger and shoot the bars out, and then she gave him the taser they use on animals where it's like a little stick, and then you hit it with the stick and it tases.
So he shoots the his gun at the water. He drops down, and he gets Freddy and Bonnie, and then
he shoots Chica before she could put,
because Chica starts grabbing Abby and starts trying to put her in the string chute, which would have obviously set off and killed her. But
and then the cupcake starts biting his leg.
Oh yeah, because they're they get into a hallway.
I think that's the same hallway everyone seems to keep dying to Foxy in.
Yeah,
which is kind of funny.
And because Foxy was the guy in the intro, it was the babysitter's boyfriend or friend guy with Bonnie. And
I know. When did he wake up and he was in that same chair as the guy from the beginning?
That happens. That's happening soon enough, but
I swear that already happened.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, 'cause we're at the end though, and that was a bit before.
Right. It's hard to remember everything because a lot because it's kind of there's a lot of repetition, a good way, because it makes sense because the games there's different nights, but eventually at some point oh no, it's it's when he angers them.
Yeah.
After he wakes up, I don't. Yeah, that's right. Because he doesn't immediately get taken in by Vanessa. That's right. I forgot.
Yeah, and so, Foxy is Well, they show
'Cause, like,
Foxy
so he's trying to
walking
open
down
that
the
door.
hallway.
He's trying to open the door. Foxy's like coming in, but Foxy like starts rushing. Then he finally gets the door open. But then
Yeah, 'cause he's like chilling, and then I think you saw like Foxy like walking down the hallway, and then when he woke up, he had that mask thing
yeah, like it was like
about
that.
to rip his face off. So he
Yeah.
got the screw out, managed to press the button to unlock it, got out. So then it hit the chair, like the seat part,
Yeah.
the part his head was on, but obviously nothing's there but the part. And then he's trying to get out the door. Foxy
Yeah.
rushes him. He gets the door open, and then I think he just collapsed or something. And Vanessa brought him to the station.
I forget.
Treating him.
I remember things. But
And then he stabs. And then back to where we were. He stabs the cupcake with the animal taser.
Yeah, like he just stabs it like in its mouth, and it
because it jumps at him, and he just stabs it right in the kisser.
And then, oh yeah, and because he told Abby to go and hide while he was doing the cupcake.
And then Foxy watches her run around, and then he starts walking around the arcade sort of area to find her.
She's hiding behind arcade, and she actually hits one, and so he starts slowly walking, and
he's walking at Michael Myers speed, so insanely slowly.
And then eventually Abby goes into the ball pit, which Foxy also hears.
And then he starts walking towards the ball pit.
And then, when all that's happening, Michael's walking around, and it's none other than Springtrap, baby.
Yeah, 'cause he looks at the main walkway, and there's two white pupils staring at him, and this yellow bunny suit crawling towards him.
Yeah, so he walks out, and then I think he says some stuff, and then eventually he just pushes Michael. He just launches Michael through some thing, one of the backs of one of the seats or something, at the boost, you know what I mean, one of those things. I believe. And he just pushes him through something, and then
Vanessa saves Abby from Foxy.
Yeah, because she runs out, and then Vanessa cases Foxy, makes sure that Abby's safe. And then
Mike gets kicked in the fucking face by Springtrap, and fucking drops to the floor.
Chest, and Michael's just laying there for a good bit because he got drop kicked by a flipping, spring lock suit.
Yeah.
And then Springtrap is talking about whatever.
He gets the other four to sort of start walking towards Michael.
He gets the animatronics to come back up, and then he takes off. Eventually, it might be when Vanessa gets more involved. But
I think it was a bit before. Yeah, it was maybe a bit before that. But the Vanessa's yelling stuff at him, holding a gun at him.
But eventually, he takes off his mask, and it's not only William
the
Afton,
guy that gave him the fucking job.
Yeah, it's Shacky, but it's actually William Afton, which.
And then he starts walking to his daughter holding a knife because he was about to stab Michael with it.
Yeah,
and then he's like, "You're not gonna shoot me," as she pulls the trigger and shoots him.
And he's asking her to help him finish what she started, and
and basically blaming her for everything, saying it's her fault and all that, yada yada yada.
She shoots him, and then he starts going after her.
Then he rushes towards her and gets the gun away from her.
Yeah, and then eventually he starts choking her against something, and just
And then I think that's around when Mike starts waking up.
Yeah.
So he tells Abby, the plan. So she starts drawing a picture.
Yeah.
Vanessa gets stabbed at one point by her own fucking father.
Yeah.
Because, that's flipping hardcore.
Yeah.
And then Abby replaces a picture of William and the Springtrap suit, being all happy and buddy with these 4 children, with the Springtrap to flipping murdering the 4 children,
Yeah.
which pisses off all 4 of the
Because basically, like,
animatronics.
it goes down because like in the middle of like all these like kid pictures, it's again like Springtrap with like all the like the 4 kids like holding hands being friends, but then like Abby draws this new picture where it's showing him killing them, and then Michael's going in the back room and he's like
He turns the yeah he does
turns
he
the
likes to he turns the
like he
breaker
flips the
on.
breaker and makes the lights go on, and it makes the spotlight go on the one picture, and Abby like has the picture of like Springtrap killing them. And then
On the like sort of like
yeah.
on the board, and
And
then all 4 of them get pissed
yeah,
off
and
at
then,
William.
And then Afton like starts like yelling at them, and then like the lights like start shining on him.
I'm your creator.
And like you're like
Oh,
worthless like scum or something. Like he just starts insulting them, which that's the best thing to do in this situation.
And then they like grabbed him and started dragging him
Yeah, well,
somewhere.
because like so what they do is like they send the cupcake after him, and like it like bites a chunk off, like it's like going after him. And he like rips it off, and but then
They like bite a part of the suit, and then one of the spring locks stabs him in the chest.
But then it starts saying at the spring lock, so it's just like stabbing into his body.
I always come
Yeah,
back.
like he's getting stabbed, and he's like dropping to his knees, and then he like takes the like his like the like spring bunny Springtrap head, and he says, "I always come back," and he puts it on. The lights come on.
For some stupid reason.
He starts like just kind of like falling over.
Keeps getting stabbed by stuff, and they like dragged him.
And then like they grab him, like are dragging him into like some room. And then like, and also while this is like happening, like the building just starts miraculously just falling apart.
And Mike and Abby
and
grab Vanessa
they
and
grab
are just
Vanessa,
running towards the exit.
Start, like, going quickly for the exit.
Because the whole building's collapsing.
And, we see like animatronics like continuing dragging William somewhere, and then eventually the building collapses, and then they eventually get out, and I don't know if it's like after like that or if it's like the other stuff, but eventually like we see a scene where it's like him in like some like random like back room or something, and like we see one of the like I think the kid that like we saw like with like when Golden Freddy was there.
It's the kid and Freddy, yeah.
And like
he's just watching him in the doorway.
And, like after like reaches his hand out like slowly, and like the kid just closes the door on him.
And he's still like getting
he's,
hit by spring locks
like,
and stuff.
Out, as he's like whatever. And then
Mike and Abby go
so
Mike goes to pick up Abby, and she's been playing with some girls for a few weeks.
And like the teacher like or principal whatever like says that like she's been like improving or whatever, like she's been getting better
socially.
Yeah. And then they eventually go
visit Vanessa in the hospital.
They go, like, is it that first or is yeah, because it's
they go to the hospital.
They visit like Mike visits Vanessa and like thanks Vanessa and says that like if it weren't for her they wouldn't be there.
She may not have been able to hear her, but whatever.
But he still said it anyways, and
Did you say hi for me? I sure did.
And then they go home and they're eating. Oh yeah, because like Mike asks what Abby wants for
pizza or spaghetti,
dinner.
both.
And he keeps saying she can't both, and she said spaghetti with meatballs. And so they're eating that, and Abby asks if they can go back there, and naturally Michael was like, yeah, but eventually he said like something like, you know what, like you never know, or something like that.
And she smiled at him.
And then we cut to the Springtrap scene where he's like reaching the hand out, and the Golden Freddy kid or just Freddy's kid, just closes the door on him.
And then we cut to Corey asleep on a flipping taxi.
And then like like he says like he's like not doing any rides, whatever.
Yeah, he hears a knock on the door, and then the door opens. And then he looks to his side, and sitting in the car with him is a bobblehead of Balloon Boy.
And he just like screams or whatever.
Which is definitely terrifying, because how did the bobblehead, open
Yeah.
a car, knock on a car door, open it, and get into the car,
Yeah.
and seemingly close the car door as well.
Yeah.
So understandable. Then I think it did like the credits where the FNF 1 Living Tombstone song played,
Yeah.
and then
That was very cool.
I don't think there was anything. And then like once all the credits played, it was just over.
Yeah.
I don't think there was a scene.
It's also kind of funny because you know how like Golden Freddy just casually just kills the ant. They never really address that afterwards because like
No,
why?
it's like long forgotten. They never
I guess
address
it's
it
just
again.
assumed that they just got rid of the bodies somehow. Like they didn't really.
To be fair, neither of them liked Aunt Jen, so
Yeah.
they probably didn't care too much. But who knows what happened to the
Yeah,
body?
that was. But
Who knows what they did with that
but
thing?
yeah, that was the FNAF movie.
It was very good.
It was very good. Like
I enjoyed it
especially
a
if you're
lot.
like a FNAF fan, you definitely should go watch
Even
it.
if you're not, but
Yeah,
like kind of a horror fan, it's definitely
it's still
good.
like a fun movie, even if it's not like the scariest, goriest, brutalist, whatever movie. It's still a fun movie.
Not every movie could be like Saw,
Yeah.
because my god. Sometimes you need those PG-13 horror movies,
Yeah.
and this one honestly was pretty good. Thank you guys so much for watching the spoiler review. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share the video, ring the bell, do all the algorithmic garbage. It helps us out a lot. It means a lot to us. And we will see you guys in the next video.
Yeah.
Bye.
And if you want to hear more of our like kind of general thoughts and like the quality of like the movie, not just movie like itself, you can watch the spoiler-free review. But if not, then hope you enjoyed it. Bye bye.
Bye.